So I just wanted to finally join in with my review of the interesting debates on the Rubin report from Tuesday. I swear that thing was like pay-per-view from the 90s when people used to buy the boxing matches. It was like that, but it was a verbal sparring. It was very interesting. Anyway, so before I get into that, I just want to say I went on to Facebook and I looked at all of the people that were Red Pill Black fans and defending her, and I poked around at a few people's profiles. And what I find is, for the most part, we've been saying that her fans are mostly thirsty males, but I'm finding a lot of women 50 and over who were defending her. And in particular, they really milked into one of the first statements she made where she was like, oh, well, she's trans, so she's actually a man. And a lot of them said things like, it was very distracting or annoying to see Blaire White flip her hair around or jiggle his boobs, whatever. Yeah, I can kind of agree with that, but the fact of the matter is, Candace was wrong, her points were wrong, she's wrong to attack other conservatives and then lie to her fans, because her fans are these, 50 and over women, who are, from Facebook, who watch, Tucker Carlson and stuff, who don't generally follow most of the YouTubers, so they don't really know what's going on. The other YouTubers who are asking questions about the website, and at this point we're also starting to say, wait a minute, you're throwing ad hominem attacks, you act like a leftist, So we're having those sorts of questions at Candace. Anyway, and of course, let me do my impression of Dave Rubin during the debate. Guys, come on, ladies, come on, guys, please, if you have any respect for me, please, guys, ladies, guys. All right, now that we got that out of the way, I'm not gonna do clips. I was going to, but I'm like, that is gonna be a major pain to edit. But I took notes, so I'm gonna kind of go through the notes that I took when I rewatched it. One thing that kept coming up was that Candace kept saying that Tree said 3 weeks, and 3 weeks was a lie. And I went back and I double-checked Tree's video. Tree never said 3 weeks. Never said it. She never said 3 weeks. She said soon. When the big S hits the oon, she said soon. But she never said 3 weeks. So, Candace is the one who pulled that out of her you-know-where and just kept repeating it. Tree is not a crackhead, thank you very much. She went and got herself tested. And she posted it on Twitter, which I never thought Tree was a crackhead because she's a former cop. She's also a personal trainer, but she's a former cop. I mean, between her living in the hood and now she was a cop, which means she got tested. When I was in the army, we had to pee in the cup, and we had to have a female sergeant watch us. So I'm guessing that cops also have to do the same thing. I think Tree even said that in one of her videos after this live stream took place. Alright, and of course, Candace's first thing out of the gate at about the 5-6 minute mark was she was like, well, I'm a grown woman sitting across from a grown man. Well, actually, are you grown, Candace? Are you sure? Because you kind of seem like you still think you're a kid. Anyway, she insisted on telling her high school story again, which, that was just to, make herself look like a victim. And at one point she's like, and I almost didn't go to college. How old are you? This was how long ago? Could Could you, maybe get over it? Yeah, please, thanks. Okay, that'd be great. Okay, thanks. Oh, an interesting thing that I caught on at some point, and I couldn't find both evidences to put them together, but I'm pretty sure that the voicemails from when she was in high school, I'm pretty sure at some point she said the voicemails were nigger, 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 die, die, die. And then she definitely said that the emails that she is certain were from Zoe, but they were most likely from the 4chan-y, Kiwi Farms, trolley kind of, guys don't want to play games on the internet. All these guys that are like high school and nerdy tech guys in their 20s. The gamers. They've even said in various comments, like, no, we really did send her email. But anyway, and Candace was certain that Zoe was behind those emails. Anyway, the emails also supposedly were nigger, 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 die, die, die. Pardon me for repeating that, but this is what she said. And it seems like, it seems suspicious that, I'm pretty sure she said that they said the same things. Tar and feather, like I believe I saw that for both incidences. I find that a little interesting. So 9 minutes in, she says that the NAACP is all about victimizing for pay. At which point I sort of went, well, who paid them to, champion you as a victim? Did you pay them for that? And then afterwards, I found an article, and I'm going to put the link to the article in the description, but I found an article, and towards the end of the article, there's a little line there that, in order for the NAACP to get involved, Candace actually wrote them a letter. Candace herself wrote them a letter. I think it said Owens, so it could have potentially meant her parents. But it certainly looked like the article was trying to say that she herself sent them a letter. So that was about 9 minutes in. Keep going. Now we're up to about the 16-minute mark. And she's talking about how she supposedly coordinated with school administrations, which would also be, illegal. And the problem I saw with that right away is I saw all of her materials from when she was promoting Social Autopsy, and at no point in those materials did she say anything about coordinating with schools. It was basically just, we're going to make this, and, everyone's going to use it, and everyone should behave themselves because they're going to be afraid of, getting called out. And I think in one of the videos, she was like, just be nice, just be nice. Totally oblivious to the fact that people can fake screenshots, which I pointed out, but actually, a fairly well-known YouTuber, Chris Ray Gunn, who had done a video on Social Autopsy, last April, I believe it was April 15th of 2016. He had mentioned in his video about using Inspect Element to tweak a screenshot. And then I also mentioned that in my first video that I did to cover this, where I kind of said, is she breaking the law? This is the deal. This is the site. She's tied to the site. Look at the site that she's tied to. I didn't really address whether she left it behind or what. I just kind of said, this is the site and this is what's going on. Anyway, moving on to 1821, I had made a note of that timestamp. And this is when they started quibbling over, well, what is doxing, and, Candace was trying to say, oh, no, it wasn't doxing, it was an archive and this and that. And, of course, Blaire pointed out that this was a digital hit list. So, after I watched Tree's video pretty much right away. I was one of the first videos that came out, because I actually subscribed to Tree. I've been subscribed to Tree since early May. Anyway, I subscribed to Tree originally in early May, and she was already one of my favorite YouTubers. So after I watched her video, one of the next things that I did was I looked up if anybody else was already talking about this. So I found a couple of videos from the last month that were about Red Pill Black. And one of the videos that went up before Trees, a couple weeks before Trees, was the one from, I think, Cyber Violence, maybe is his name? I think people also call him Harmful Opinions. I don't know. He mirrored he did like an introduction, and then he mirrored his old video about this from back in April, and he was like, "That's right, it's a snitching site!" And I point this out because this is like the most accurate way of putting it. She keeps saying it's not doxing, but in her introductory video, she very clearly says, why have a back and forth argument with one of your friends when you can turn them into their website? So, and then that's when the guy was like, "That's right, it's a snitching site." I mean, it actually is, because it's not public information. You're asking people, if people are using an anonymous Twitter handle, you're asking people who are like the real life friends, you're asking them to give up the person's real name. You're asking people to give up someone's school that may or may not be on their profile. You're asking people to give up their workplaces, which may or may not be on their profile. You're asking for their other social media profile.